Hey guys, welcome. We're here today in the hot box. We're going to do a THCA isolation on the Nugsmasher XP. We got some rosin here. It's actually several different strains of rosin pressed together. I think it's about 4 grams. We're going to measure it or weigh it and see. Sometimes this works a little better if you have it in the freezer first. I'm trying not to get the shape all oblong, so I can just press it flat again. Okay, so we got right at 4 grams of rosin here, guys. And notice how it's all cloudy. It looks like chocolate. If we leave it out a little longer, it'll get all dry. That's what we call butter up effect. It's buttered up. It's when the shattered look goes away, turns more into a butter. The size of the shape that I'm trying to get it is about the size of a 3.5 gram bag. Once we wrap it in a screen, it'll be a lot easier to deal with, which is pretty good. So what we're using here is we're going to use a 15 micron screen, 6-inch screen, part of it, and we're going to use a 37 micron 3.5 gram bag for our isolation. I wish that was... You want this to come over and fold over and make complete coverage. So you can see I've already used that 6x6 square as part of it. And then what we did is we just put the rosin on that 15 micron screen, as you can see there. And now with the screen, we're going to come over and tightly wrap it. Now remember, we want to slide it into that bag, so we got to make sure it fits. Let's see which is going to be the best way. That'll work. All right. We get it all in the bag neatly. Sure, screen's not hanging out. And then we'll fold it over here. You can see the rosin there in the 15 micron. Fold it over, and now what we're going to do is we're going to get a size on that, because we need to calculate the material PSI on this. So it looks like I'm going to say 1 3/4 inches, so 1.75. by, let's call it 1.5. 1.75 by 1.6, let's say. It's really close. So what I'm going to do, because it's the Nugsmasher XP, you have a pressure gauge here, so we got to relate that pressure gauge into material PSI. Now during an isolation, you're gonna isolate if you stay down on a low temperature and work up by maybe 5-10 degrees. So start at 100 degrees or so, 107 degrees we're starting in. You don't want to exceed 100 material PSI to start to isolate. All the way up to about 140, 150 degrees, you stay at that about 100 material PSI and it will isolate nice. And then depending on how clean you want it, you can keep going up in heat and in pressure all the way up to about 350 material PSI on an isolation. But I'd limited it there. So to start, we're gonna figure out what 100 material PSI is. So we're gonna go to the pressure calculator, go make sure the Nugsmasher XP is selected. See in the pressure calculator, you got the XP and the Pro. And then we're gonna go over here to bag size and toggle through it to CU. And then we're gonna put in our bag size, 1.75 by 1.56, I said. And for people that aren't fucking blind. Okay, so this is gonna give us our cubic inch, and then it's gonna give us our, set your material pressure to 100. And we need our gauge to read 121 based on this size, this cubic inch. So 121 material, or 121 reading on the gauge is a material PSI. If I want 110, it's 134. So I'm really gonna come over here, you can look at the gauge. The first start of it, you see 1,000, and then halfway between that's obviously 500. So we're gonna be just that nib, just showing. Like this, look at it. That's what we want, just like that. You can see I'll release pressure. So we want our gauge to do just like this. All right, so once we got that set, I'll show you how I prepared the parchment. The parchment paper is doubled up. So I double it up always. I come back here with this fold, typically always put that up and all the way towards the back of the crease of the parchment. And you can see how that I'm tight on the sides, leaving just a little bit, maybe a 1/16 inch on each side. And then there's our package ready to start to isolate. And then prior to putting it in, I'll put it between a piece of parchment like this. So we'll go ahead and release the plates, get started here. And now that we know how much PSI we're putting on this, we're gonna go over here to our timer and we're gonna time this for 240 seconds. Okay. Keep in mind, guys, the more rosin you put in there, we're only putting 4 grams in there. If you put, 20 grams in there, you would obviously have use a much larger area, surface area and whatnot. So you could apply more pressure, obviously, when you calculate that, using the calculator tool. As a little oil does come off, start to come away from the THCA, you'll see that you'll lose a little pressure. You'll have to add a little more. If you notice your unit is naturally losing a little pressure when you have the plates together, make sure you follow a bleed procedure and bleed it before you start this, because you want it to hold real nice. What causes that typically to have to bleed a unit is moving it around. It gets air in the system as well. So we're 25 seconds in. I always like to check my space, see how much actually I'm losing. You obviously want to form a brick of THCA without oil in it. Pure isolate. And if this doesn't work for you the first time out, don't get discouraged. Try again, let your rosin butter up a little bit more. You know, this batch is on the edge of being not buttered enough, so something you got to play with, perfect. It is, I will say, a little easier to do it with one of our digital units than this unit, the Touch or the Pro Touch. A little easier, but you know, like Anthony did, he isolated on the Mini, so you can actually do it on any of the units if you have a feel and understand it. But if you don't want to go through all that, you definitely need to look at one of the digital units like the Touch or the Pro Touch, because you just follow the numbers at that point. Shop dog. Nice job, dog. Gimme. Now basically after our timer's up, just run out, we're just going to go ahead and go up in temperature. Start out slow. I'm just going to go up 5 degrees. So I'll go up to 112 here. And then once I reach that 112, all along maintaining that 100 material PSI on here. Once I reach that 112 in temperature, I'm going to go ahead and start the 240-second timer again. And I'm going to repeat this till I go all the way up to at least 150, 160, and then we're going to, maybe 145-ish, and then we're going to take it out and see where it's at. As I go, I might increase my time or the temperature 7, 8 degrees instead of 5. Just depends on what you're working with and how impatient you are. If you want to follow the numbers, 5 degrees all the way up really makes it nice. Right when I get to about 90 seconds, I'm going to turn the heat up 5 degrees. now that we're about 90 seconds here. Okay, so as it's climbing up to 117, it's at 115 now. I'm going to go ahead and start the timer again. Keeping the pressure on right at about 100. I'm increasing just a tiny bit. Maybe I'm going to 105 or something. You can see it's just over a little over the first line there. Okay, so now that we're about 90 seconds in or left, we're going to go ahead and raise it another 5. All right, now that we got about 90 seconds left, we're going to turn this up, and now I'm going to increase it just a little bit. I'm going to go up to 130. So I went up 8 degrees on that one. Just going to get it even. I think I'm going to start going up 7-8 degrees. At this point, I think it's starting to isolate here, I feel like. Let's hope anyway. All right, now that we're close to our target tip, I'm going to go ahead and start the timer again. Now that we're getting close to our target temp, we'll go ahead and start the timer again. All right, now that we're getting close to our target temp, we're going to go ahead and start the timer again. All right, now that we're nearing our temperature, we'll go ahead and start the timer again. Okay, so now that we've come to the end, real close, we're gonna go ahead and take this out. See what we're working with here. Should have a block of white starting to form in the center. And we should have oil coming off of it nice. And we're gonna go ahead and change that guy. Get around Joe here. So the 37 micron bag has some oil in it. We're just gonna cut that off. Oops, I got some of the diaper, darn it. Yeah. Well, this is a good opportunity to show you guys what we're working with. So you can see how there's a lot of oil left in it, but it's starting to turn all white. So we're about halfway through. Since I got it all the way out like this, and I end up cutting my paper or my micron like a donkey. Let's see if I seals back up. Yeah, I think it does. I'm not going to change it. I was going to say I was going to change it, but I'm not. I'm just going to cut this off. I should have been more careful when I cut the bag out. So you can see all the oil that's in the bag. There's really no THCA. You can see all the oil, these are all the oils, the fats, the lipids, and the terps, by the way, that were in the rosin. And there's probably this much left to come out. So we're going to go ahead and slide it in a new 37 micron bag. We're going to leave it in this screen. We could, if we got a lot of gumption, I guess we could slide it in a new one. Yeah, we'll leave it. We're just going to fold it right back up. You know what? I sure don't like that corner. Let's see. This time I'm going to fold it the opposite way because it keeps it, it's not sticking to the isolate. This keeps it together on the back side. Take your time with it and you can get it in there nice. Anyway, there's our isolate again. So at this point, we're going to grab another one of our, all of this is a double parchment. See, so we cut a long strip, fold it in half and half again. And then this is going to go in thirds. It's going to fit our bag here, you can see. Phone's going off, isn't it? Okay, now basically since we've done that, we've changed its diaper, we're just going to pick right up where we left off. All we're doing is continuing to refine the oils, take the oils out of it. So at this point we're going to go up, we keep going up at 8 degrees, but we're going to put a little bit more material PSI on it. So we're just going to bring it up a hair more. We're going to make sure to see what that is, just to make sure we know what the hell we're doing here. So we're going to go to the pressure calculator, and again to the, and it was 1.75 by 1.6, sorry, 280, yes, and I wanted 200 max, so that's 243 on there. So 150 max is 182 on there. So, okay, so each of them are third. There's 1, 2, 3 spots in there, and 500. So 500 divided by 3. Okay, so each spot counts for about 166 material PSI. So you can see I was just under it. So I was doing it about 120, 130 on the first run. I'm going to go just over the first clicker on there, and that's going to give me somewhere in there 160, 170 material PSI on that. And that's how we're figuring that out, if that makes sense to you guys. Okay, so we're going to go back to our timer, and 240. And we're gonna start our timer and get going again. We're gonna go ahead and start the timer, guys, now that we're nearing our target temp. Okay, so what we got here, guys. All right. See, it's getting most of the oil to the edges here. It really did all of its isolation in the first part of the video. That's what I really wanted to show you. Right now, we're just refining, getting the rest of the oil out of the isolation here. Let's go ahead and cut it out of the bag, see what it looks like. I'm gonna not cut the screen this time. Very nice. Seems to work really good with a 15 micron screen. It seems to really help it isolate nice. And then inside of a 37 micron bag. So we still have a ways to go. You can see the oil in there, still on the edges and whatnot. We're going to continue to go ahead and add some more heat, some more pressure to this, get the rest of the oil out of this. We'll probably go ahead and increase our material PSI to 250. Now, you can see it's a thick brick of, well, not thick, but decent wafer, if you will, of isolate. It's really nice. This stuff's really good. If you've never had it, it's a must try. It's really easy on the lungs and real stony. So we'll put that there. We'll stick it in another bag here. Which are right here. Did I cut that in? No, that's the seam. Gotta get patient with it, guys. See, I'm caught under the seam there. Still caught on the seam. Sometimes you can twist the bag, kind of roll it, if you will. Get over those seams with the edges. And if it's just too much and you guys feel like you're going to break the isolate up, which would suck at this, it sucks at this point because it absorbs more of the oil. It's tougher to get it out. You can always stick it in the fridge for a minute or the freezer for a minute, and that'll make it real slick. It'll slide right in. Another little trick you can use if you need it. Okay, now that we got that all back in there, is this the clean? That's a dirty one. Again, this is just a strip of parchment paper cut off. Fold it in half and in half again. This bag fits in here, right at the fold. Okay. And we're basically going to come back after this. We're going to have a short intermission here, a short break. We're going to come back, units at 186 degrees. We're going to stick it in at 186 degrees, let it get to temp, and then we're going to go up from 186. We're going to go up to another 8 degrees and continue to do that, maintaining about 200 and 250 material PSI, which is just over the second click under the first, over the first click under the second. That's about where we're going, and we'll do it all the way up to probably 210 degrees, get this really clean and nice. Hey guys, welcome back. So we're at 186 degrees. We got our isolation pretty much done. We just changed the diaper in the screen for a second time. And we're gonna put it back in there to refine it and get it a little more pure. We're gonna go up to probably, I don't know, we'll see. See what we feel like. And we're going to build our pressure right on back. Right about 200 material PSI, 220 material PSI. And we're going to go ahead and start our timer. And the only difference we're going to make here, guys, we're going to inch up by 10 now once we normalize here after this 240. Okay guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and pull this out, see where we're at after 206. You can see it's starting to get clearer and clearer, whiter and whiter, less oil. Ooh, that's nice, guys. It's turning out real nice. We might be real close to finished. Take a little peek. What do you guys think? It's getting pretty pure. You can tell, you see the corner here, how it's just crumbling off. It's real hard to the touch, brittle. I think I'm pretty happy with that, guys, to be honest with you. For my personal smoke. Now, if you want it even more pure, you can continue to keep going up. Continue to keep doing the same process we've been doing. When you get towards a little bit of the higher heat, make sure you come back down to about 100 material PSI, so you don't dissolve it in there. But anyway, I think we'll leave it at that. I'll take a final weight off of this, see where we're at. And you can see there's still some oil in this. Not much, it's pretty clean, it's pretty nice. The size of a wheat thin, a little bigger. Let's see how much it weighs, guys. Okay, so about 50% back. 2 grams of isolate. So guys, I hope you enjoyed us watching us isolate THCA on the Nugsmaher XP. It's been a fun day doing that. If you need some isolate, that's a good way to do it. Remember, it's solventless isolate, THCA. We've done this lots of times, tested it out on the testing machine, and it's about, depending on how far you go, but anywhere between 94 to 97%, or sometimes if it's real white, 99%. THCA. So it's not decarbed. Like I said, we'll do a video next time. We'll go all the way and all the way up to 240, 250 and decarb this in the press next time. So anyway, as always, thanks for supporting Nugsmasher, the brand Nugsmasher, and you know, if you made it this far, check out my discount code at nugsmasher.com, which we're having a huge sale. Our Labor Day sales started last night at midnight, so make sure you check that out. Prices are out of this world at nugsmasher.com. Everything's in stock and shipping now. My discount code, Ryan's Best Deal, good at nugsmasher.com, and that's always good till it's not. Anyway, thanks again, guys. Until next time,